Contention, her spying think tank, the American Enterprise Institute, raised eyebrows on both sides of the Atlantic. Her case that the developed world simply cannot sustain the existing rules-based systems that allow asylum seekers, she says, to avail themselves of the West's generosity.
One of the most significant but underappreciated factors contributing to the global migration crisis is the global asylum framework. By this, I mean the various well-intentioned legal conventions and treaties that say, in effect, if you are fleeing persecution somewhere, you are entitled to make a claim for asylum anywhere. And irrespective of whether you arrived illegally or passed through multiple safe countries along the way, a country must consider it. Where individuals are being persecuted, it is right that we offer sanctuary. But we will not be able to sustain an asylum system if, in effect, simply being gay or a woman or fearful of discrimination in your country of origin is sufficient to qualify for protection.
Tomorrow we'll hear the counterpoint from a senior figure at the UN High Commissioner for Refugees. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, arrests have been made following a fire that killed over 100 people at a wedding in northern Iraq. China says claims of forced labour are an enormous lie after US allegations of genocide and forced labour against minorities in Xinjiang. India says it would look at specific information from Canada on the killing of a Sikh separatist. And Ukraine's security forces said they've arrested 2 men in Kyiv who allegedly assisted Russia in identifying targets connected to attacks carried out against the capital. That's the latest feature story news. Simon Gaitan reporting.
Good morning, it's a KCHW morning show. It is Wednesday morning with Scott and Sharon.
Actually, you're Chuck.
I'm Chuck. Did I just call myself Scott?
You did.
Oh, what in the world was that?
I don't know.
That was crazy. You know, it's early.
Yes,
It's
is.
early. I left my keys in the door, too, when you came in.
You did. You
It's,
did.
you know, it's one of those mornings. It's
Yeah,
one of
and-
those mornings, I
yep.
tell you. So how are you this morning?
I am fine. Yeah,
Pre-
and you?
I'm a little off my game this morning. This is Chuck Ritchie with Sharon Ludwig.
Yes.
For
Good
Wednesdays.
morning,
Good
everyone
morning.
out there.
Before we get going, let's go ahead and first of all, we have a couple of announcements to make. First of all, this week I've been just wanting to thank everyone for the show last Friday. Thank you, Isaac Tenasket, for coming out. Thanks to everyone that came out and supported us. Thanks to everyone that donated for the show. Our sponsors, Andy Sandwich and Sports, Valley Drug Company, and I want to give another special thank you to the theater, to the Performing Arts Center. It's not the Performing Arts Center; it's the Center for the Arts, the Chwila Center for the Arts.
Yeah.
My brain still wants to say PACA. I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay. Stands for Performing and Cultural Arts. And when we first started in 2008, we named ourselves the Chwila Performing and Cultural Arts Center.
Okay.
And so PACA was in between. But then when we bought a building, we named the building the Center for the Arts. We just thought the center was a little easier to remember.
Yeah. And a special thank you. I don't know if he wants me talking about it on the air, but special thank you to Jay Andrews for coming out and being a rock star.
Yeah,
he really
he's on
truly
our
is.
board, and he's just such a knowledgeable person. Yeah,
He
he's
is.
great.
We wouldn't have had sound for the show if it wasn't for Jay.
Yeah.
He really came out and
Yeah.
saved our butts.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. It was our first show in a long time, since 2019, since we've had a show in the studio.
Oh.
And none of the stuff was hooked up, and apparently half of our equipment wasn't even working right. So he actually ran over and loaned us some stuff from the theater and
Oh, wow.
and got us the sound
Nice.
system going. So
Nice.
thank you. And also, speaking of the radio station working with the theater, we are announcing the winter play, the Christmas play. We're doing the classic Christmas Carol.
Yes, that's what I hear.
Yeah, and we're good. I just moved my clipboard off the counter that had the information. But the auditions are next week,
Yep, I got that in my
Okay.
upcoming events.
Do you want to tell us about that? Or you're not there yet?
No, I could tell you. Let's see.
But while she's looking, this is actually if you've never been in theater or on the radio and you're interested, this is a really great opportunity to kind of do both with one swoop. It's going to be not a very grueling schedule. I've been told that we're not going to have to worry about memorization. I know they're going to be doing some shows after the radio show at the theater.
All right.
Okay, here we go, Sharon.
I'll read this. It says it's audition time. Park Avenue Players, in cahoots with KCHW, will present a fun adaptation.
A little closer to the mic.
Little
Sharon.
closer to the
There
mic.
you go.
Pull
Sorry, I
it
didn't
up.
mean to cut you off.
Okay. We'll present a fun adaptation of A Christmas Carol this December. This is the perfect opportunity for you to get involved and not have to memorize a thing. This will be a staged live radio show where the actors will read the script as well as produce sound effects. The sound effects is what I'm really looking forward to.
Oh, I know.
I did a little bit of that on a radio show. It was so fun. Yeah.
Well, and that was one of the reasons why when we kind of went back and forth. There were a couple other plays, one in particular that would have been amazing to do, but we couldn't get the rights to stream it.
Oh.
We couldn't get the rights to do it on the air
Oh, yeah.
fast enough.
Yeah.
And this one is just, I think, the sound effect possibilities.
Uh-huh.
And that was one of the things that really drew me to this was the sound
Yeah.
effects that are
Yeah.
possible with this particular play. So
Yeah, less than half the rehearsals of a regular play, no memorization. This is going to be fun. Also, the show will be presented opening night at KCHW. Isn't
that's
that
right.
exciting?
That is exciting.
And will be broadcasted live on the air. The following two performances will be presented at the Chihuahua Center for the Arts. Performance dates are December 15 and 16 at 7 and on the 17th at 2 p.m. Auditions, you're right, are next week, October 4th and 5th at 6 p.m. at the center. We need all ages, including a Tiny Tim. Can you do multiple voices? Oh, great. Come on. Questions? You can ask Catherine Patton, the director. Well, I have her email here, or text her. And do we give that on the air?
I wouldn't right now.
No,
but
okay. Yeah, but this was
unless she
on
wants you to.
Facebook. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
so-
Yeah. Go ahead then. Yeah, sure.
So her text is 270-314-1288. 270-314-1288. Yeah, that should be fun. And one thing, when you come for the auditions, know that there's a whole bunch of stage time kids in there. And you're in the right place.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I would love to see some kids in there doing that. Maybe I don't know how many roles for kids there are. I know there's obviously Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim, obviously.
But there's got to be some other roles in
Yeah,
there too. So I'm excited. You know, that to me is I grew up in the the 80s and 90s. I was an 80s kid, and to me that story is like Scrooge with Bill Murray and the Muppets and some of those. I have obviously seen the old classic black and white film version, and some of the more classic adaptations of it. But to me, Carol Kane as a Ghost of Christmas Present. It doesn't get better than that.
Oh.
So I know this is the original story. This is back to basics, but it's still.
Oh, yeah.
To me, it's one of my favorite Christmas stories.
Well, that's good.
I don't think it can get old, really.
Yeah.
I
Even
like
when you know the ending.
Right?
Yeah.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
Okay, no spoiler alert.
Yeah, don't tell anybody. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the weather. Looks like today we're going to have a high of 54 degrees with some rain. Chance of rain, 100%. If you haven't seen outside already, it's raining. We're going to get about a half an inch of rain today. Partly cloudy skies overnight with a low of 42. Then tomorrow we're going to get a high of 58, low of 43, mostly cloudy skies. That chance of rain goes down to 24%. Friday about the same, 60 and 40 for your high and low. 24% chance of rain. Then Saturday looks like it's going to be drying up a little bit. You might be able to put your raincoats away. Maybe not though. With a high of 60, low of 38. Then 67 and 41, mostly sunny skies on Sunday. That's good. I'm going to be outside working, building a shed. I need some good weather. I even bought a raincoat this week though. I didn't have one. My old raincoat's way too big for me. So.
Well, isn't that a fun thing?
Right?
Yeah.
Right? That's always good. Especially since last time I tried it, it was too small.
Oh.
Yeah, and then Monday, the chance of rain stays about 10%, 63 for your high. Tuesday looks like we're kind of maybe next week get some more rain, maybe not. It's hovering around 15-16% chance. We will see when we get there. And Sharon, oh wait, no, I'm going to do the lunch menus, right?
Yeah.
Okay. For school lunches today, we have, I'm on lunch. I need to be on breakfast. We have a cheese omelet. Ooh, that actually sounds really good.
It does.
Yeah, cheese omelet with a variety of cereal, fresh fruit juice, and your choice of milk. And then, did you get breakfast in school? I didn't. And we never got breakfast in school.
No.
I think that's kind of cool that they're doing that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Do you know how they do it? Do they go to a class and then take a break and then have breakfast, or do they just show up and have breakfast and then?
Well, when I worked there a long time ago, they'd just come in and eat as they got to school.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they'd go out to recess after they ate.
So you come into school and you eat and then you get recess immediately?
Well, just until school starts. You know, you could come and play for a while outside.
I want to go to this school. This sounds like a good school. Then for lunch, there's baked potato chili with beans, green beans, fresh fruit, fresh veggies, fruit, milk, and your choice of milk.
Sounds good.
Is that a nice baked potato covered in chili?
Yeah.
Ooh, that does sound good.
Yeah.
That does sound good. So we're going to go ahead, Sharon, and let's get on over to Bits and Breaks, and let's try to be funny.
Okay. A man goes into a drugstore and asks the pharmacist if he can give him something for the hiccups. The pharmacist promptly reaches out and whack, slaps the man's face. "What did you do that for?" the man asked. "Well, you don't have the hiccups anymore, do you?" replies the pharmacist. The man says, "No, but my wife out in the car still does."
And here's some killer quotes. What we think we know about someone, everything. What we actually know, very little. That comes from Amy Weatherly. People can't communicate everything. People can't. I can't communicate either. People who can't communicate think everything is an argument. People who lack accountability think everything is an attack. Oh,
that's interesting.
That's profound.
Yeah.
That comes from an unknown quotor.
Mm-hmm.
Rest is not idleness, the art of gathering strength. Rest is not idleness, it's the art of gathering strength. The bridge between today's efforts and tomorrow's triumphs. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Does like sitting on the couch watching TV count as rest?
I'm not sure.
I think it does.
Are you sure? Because your mind is, maybe your mind is just idle. I don't know.
I guess it depends on what you're watching.
I guess so.
I think I know we've talked about it before. Jeopardy is my sort of resting, relaxation,
yeah.
kind of get in the zone, and nothing else really matters.
Yeah, I watch that every night.
Yep.
I record it and then I watch it,
Same.
later. And if I can get like 2 or 3 right, I'm going, yay!
Finally, here we have marriage isn't about finding someone you can live with, but finding the one you can't imagine living without. Oh,
That's nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
I can see that. Again, from an unknown source.
Yeah. Okay, this says easy Facebook image. 1 to download and post for pumpkin spice latte season.
Oh, we don't. I didn't have that ready to put up on Facebook. Oh my goodness gracious! I will.
And it says link. Oh, I didn't read ahead, so I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. That's okay. There's link. Why don't you go ahead and take the next one?
Okay. What phrases make you nervous? A survey says 95% of us get nervous when we hear the phrase, "We need to talk."
Mm-hmm.
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 What are some other phrases that you can't stand? How about, "Can you call me?" "I was going through our credit card statement and..." Or "The boss, can I see you in my office?"
Are these work specific or just in general?
I don't know. Well, sometimes like, "Can you call me?" It could be your kid and you're worried about him.
Right.
You know?
Right. True.
Yeah.
You know one that always bothers me that kind of makes me. Oh, these are ones that make you nervous. Not.
Yeah.
It says 2 things. It says make you nervous and phrases you can't stand. You know one I just can't stand in general? It doesn't make me nervous. Come with. I'm going to the store. Do you want to come with? I don't know why. It's like fingernails on a chalkboard to me. You ever heard that?
But don't they say "come with me"?
No. Some people, it's a common phrase to say, "Hey, I'm going to this thing. You want to come with?" Like
It's like they left off half the sentence.
Is the adding me at the end too much effort, people? Come on now. Now I'm just complaining.
Oh, yeah, but that's okay.
The bigger is better. If you're looking for a big vacation to see something, here are a few ideas. A big vacation to see something big.
Okay.
These are big things around the country. The world's largest beer, if you drive past Heilmann's Brewery in La Crosse to see the world's largest beer, part of the world's largest six-pack. Where do you think this could be? Wisconsin. If you're in the state, you can visit the world's largest talking cow, which is in Neillsville, and the world's largest penny, which is in Woodruff, and the world's largest M is in Platteville.
Well, that doesn't make sense because Platteville doesn't start with an M.
That's what I was thinking. Were they trying to lay claim to another town's letter?
I don't know.
That's not right. Then the largest lobster is in New Brunswick, Canada. I figured that'd be in Maine, over by Scott.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I figured there'd be pictures of Scott laying out on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's in New Brunswick. As I said, that's in New Brunswick, Canada. Citizens lay claim to the title of Lobster Capital of the World with their 35-foot statue of a lobster. The largest lobster recorded was caught in Nova Scotia, weighing 44 pounds.
Ooh, you'd have to have a lot of people to eat that.
Yeah, you would. Wow, that's a big lobster. I wonder if it's like a lot of things. When it's get that big, it's not any good. It's probably not.
Maybe tough.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't want it anyway.
No,
yeah.
put it back. Put it back. The largest velvet Elvis. This is in the Tattoo Factory in Chicago. The largest velvet Elvis stands at 12 foot by 12 foot and is pictured with a tear in his eye, possibly from the thought of being immortalized on velvet.
Oh, that is funny.
That's fair. And the biggest high school is in Manila, Philippines. If you think you have a large graduating class, so do the nearly 25,000 students at Rizal High School in Manila, Philippines.
My.
Wow. We had. Did you graduate here from in
No,
Chihuahua? Okay.
Quincy,
okay.
middle of the state.
Do you know how big do you remember how big your graduate?
125.
120. See, we had about 800 in our graduating class, and I thought that was huge.
Yeah,
compared
it's
to,
huge to me.
Yeah, compared to other schools, but man, 25,000. I've actually visited this place. The largest home is the Biltmore Estate in Asheville, North Carolina. The world's largest private home is open for tours and special events year-round. The Biltmore Estate is George W. Vanderbilt's palatial home built in the 1890s.
Wow, how big is it?
It is so big. No, I don't have a joke for that.
Okay.
It's very big. It's very big. Then finally, we have the tallest roller coaster. That's in Jackson, New Jersey. The Six Flags Great Adventure is a home of King to Caw, a steel roller coaster standing a frightening 456 feet tall. It opened in 2005, beating the second highest at Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio.
Wow. So how long is a football field? I don't know the answer to this.
100 yards.
100 yards.
So that would be 300 feet.
So it's taller than if you stood the football field on end.
It's like a football field and a half.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a big roller coaster.
That is.
Wow.
Are you a roller coaster fan,
No.
Sharon? No.
No.
I've never really been on I've never been on a major roller coaster. I've never even tried it. I've been on like the little ones, like state fairs and stuff. But I've never. I can't ride. I can't do the rides that go round. I can do the ones that go forward.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. All right. The dangerous man. In the past 6 months, percentages of men who have, exceeded the speed limit, 84%. Eaten while driving, 72%. Well, I don't think this is just men. I think this is women too.
Right?
But used a phone while driving, 68%. Run a red or yellow light, 59%.
I think half of those were at the intersection in Chihuahua.
Really?
I've like 3 times in the last week been sitting there. The light turns green. I look both ways, start to move, and all of a sudden here comes a car just running right through it. All the time.
Oh, my.
All the time people just run right through that light.
Yeah, I'm always afraid in Spokane for that, so I wait to go a little bit if I'm first in line.
Yeah, I always make sure that even if a car doesn't stop, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Read while driving, 34%. That's a little harder to do. Yes.
Like with a novel in your hand?
I guess. Driven without a seatbelt fastened, 28%. Turned without using a signal, 26%. Depends on where you are. You know, that last turn before you get home?
Right.
You just sometimes don't use the signal.
You know, sometimes, especially if you're out and about, say if you have a headache or something, that clicking noise is just too much.
Yeah.
But use it when there's other cars around.
Right. And then driven aggressively, 23%.
I think that last one is a lie.
Yeah. Well, and if it was women, there would be one more on there.
What's it? Put on your makeup.
Put on your makeup.
Put on your makeup.
I've not done that, but I watched my sister a lot when we used to be roommates way back before we both got married, and she'd put her makeup on in the car while she was driving.
Every once in a while, you driving by and you pass by someone and they're driving with their knees. They've got their mirror down. They're using both hands to put on their makeup.
Oh my!
Like wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to some news and nuggets.
Okay. Let's see if I can find it.
I will go ahead and get things started here. We're going a little slow. Who wants $835 million? Woo! This is getting exciting. The Powerball jackpot has risen now to $835 million. It's the 9th highest lottery jackpot in history and the 4th largest Powerball jackpot ever. Ooh, are you a big lotto fan? Do you play the lotto?
No.
Probably not.
No. A long time ago I bought when they first came out, I think I bought a ticket, and it was like a $2 winner, and I traded it in and bought 2 more tickets because they were $1 at the time. Neither one of them won anything, so I said, well, that's a dumb thing. I just wasted all that money.
It generally is a waste.
Yeah. Most Americans are over the Electoral College. Americans are done with electoral
Yep.
college. The way presidential elections are decided. A new poll from the Pew Research Center found that 65% of Americans believe this country should change the current system so that the candidate who wins the most votes nationally wins.
I like to say dirt don't vote. What happens with the Electoral College is you can have heavily populated areas where people's votes actually get canceled out because people in lower populated areas, their vote will be weighted heavier because it's spread over a larger geological area. So that one vote has as much weight as 3 or 4 votes for people who live in more heavily populated areas.
Yeah.
And it seems really, really unconstitutional to me. I know it's literally written in the Constitution.
Yeah, and it's been here forever, and we've had a lot of elections. Well, not a lot, but several that were.
But there have been more than one where the Electoral College did not reflect the vote of the people.
Yeah, exactly.
And I find that as an American highly offensive.
Yeah,
and I don't see how that's a thing we should continue to be doing. It came about originally in the little history lesson. It came about originally in the slave days. The slave owners, they obviously based on the how do you even word that? The people that were working for them, and they weren't obviously allowed to vote, so they gave them this. They formed this electoral college so they could get votes for their people on their plantations.
Oh, wow.
So the slave owners could have the votes based on the number of people working on their farms or their land. And it's a holdover from the days of this is probably going to get me in trouble talking about it, but it's the truth. It's fact. It's history.
Wow.
And it's a holdover from the slave trade days that we still follow. And it's a thing that needs to be. I think it's a thing that needs to be done away with because it doesn't reflect the will of the American people. That's all.
Yep.
15 happiest places to live in the U.S. Outside Magazine recently published an article about the 15 happiest places to live in the U.S. for 2023. The list was created based on factors such as community, quality of life, and access to outdoor activities. The cities on the list in no particular order are Hood River, Oregon, Wilmington, Delaware, New Orleans, Cincinnati, Reno, Charlottesville, Virginia, Glenwood Springs, Colorado, Minneapolis, Plano, Texas. These are weird. Some of them are just the name of the city, and then some of them are the city and the state. So it's kind of hard to read.
Because we're familiar with the name.
Right.
Yeah.
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Anchorage, Alaska, Frederick, Maryland, Madison, Wisconsin, Tacoma, Washington, and St. Petersburg, Florida.
So where's Chihuahua?
Right.
It's a happy place to live.
Right.
Yeah.
It should be.
Yeah.
Well, you can't account for taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most Americans no longer eat 3 meals a day. 3 meals a day is a thing of the past, as nearly 3/4 of Americans no longer eat a traditional breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Research found that the traditional meal plan is now followed by just 27% of adults. So what are we doing? snack meals. Something like 2 regular meals and snack meals 3 or 4 times a day. Well, and some people do that what they call intermittent fasting. So they don't eat after a certain meal, and then they just usually eat 2 meals a day and then fast or don't eat the rest of the time.
Right, right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times we'll snack during the day and we're just comes dinner time and we're not hungry. So it's like, okay, kids, just if you're hungry, go find a snack, you know?
Yeah.
Because we ate lunch at 5 o'clock and now it's dinner time and we're still full.
Yep.
So yeah, we have weird schedules. 6 in 10 adults don't consider themselves grown up. 6 in 10 adults, as I said, don't consider themselves grown up. A poll of ages 25 to 44 found that millions are still clinging to their youth. Some of the common reasons we feel we're not grown up is still going to concerts and festivals, gaming, collecting things like comic books, football jerseys, and Star Wars stuff, as I'm wearing my Yoda t-shirt. Constructing with Lego. You know, Lego never gets... I don't think Lego is a thing for kids anymore. I think it's an all ages thing. There's a lot of really cool stuff going on with that.
Right.
Enjoying superhero films, which we can't really avoid right now because all films are superhero films now.
Yeah.
And going to theme parks.
Well, some of those don't feel like there's such bad things to do. Even when you're a grown-up.
Cling to that youth.
Yeah.
I'm still wondering. I'm 45 years old. I'm still wondering when you start to feel like a grown-up. I don't think it happens.
Yeah. No, because inside,
myth.
well, I'm in my 70s, and inside, you just still feel like you were so much younger.
Yeah, like a vulnerable little kid.
Yeah. You look in the mirror and you go, my goodness, where did those wrinkles come from? We sugarcoat how we feel 11 times a week. Rather than causing offense or rocking the boat, 9 in 10 of us hold our tongues rather than speaking our minds. When it comes to sugarcoating what we really mean, how a meal cooked for us is most likely to bring out a little white lie.
Oh.
Yep.
Is that what sugarcoating means? Because it's a little white lie?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Just, or you just say something nice even though you'd like to just blast somebody.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Those are good skills to have in an office setting.
Yes.
There's some pretty great lists on alternative phrases.
Oh, yeah?
That's what you really mean. But I think most of those we cannot say the real meaning on the air.
Aha.
A few beers won't give you a beer belly, contrary to popular belief. According to a report from the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition, a scientific study found no link between drinking a few beers each week and a beer belly. The study analyzed the waist measurements and hip circumference of 19,941 men. Very specific number.
Yeah, and one.
Yeah, and one. Don't forget about the one.
Yeah.
Men and women over 4 years. Participants were asked to provide estimates of their daily beer consumption. The researchers concluded that their study does not support the common belief of a site-specific effect on beer in the abdomen, the beer belly. Instead, they found that beer consumption seems to be associated with an increase in overall body fatness. I don't know. I'm assuming your beer consumption is probably pretty low there, Sharon.
Yeah, I have none.
I have very little, especially as I get older, but every once in a while, it's nice to have an adult beverage.
Yeah, this one's quite interesting. President Biden's younger dog, Commander, bit another U.S. Secret Service agent at the White House Monday evening. The 11th known biting incident involving the 2-year-old German Shepherd. The officer was treated and is doing okay. The White House mentioned working on training and leashing protocols for the dog, but it's unclear if they followed through. Biden's other dog, Major, was involved in biting incidents as well and was later moved out of the White House. A sad story. We had a neighbor when our oldest daughter, who's in her late 40s, was like a child, and she fell on the dog, and the dog was asleep, and he woke up and bit her. And they got rid of the dog. They no longer had the dog.
Oh.
And I thought that was so sad because it wasn't the dog's fault.
Right.
Right. This child just fell on her and woke him up, or him or her, but
it was more out of surprise than anger.
Yeah.
Was the child injured?
No, just a little bite, not much.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, growing up, my parents were really strict about that. If a dog ever bit, then that was the end for that dog.
Yeah.
And in anger. I mean, I would show up I remember getting called into the office one time because my arms were covered in bruises, and they were concerned. And I'm like, no, we have a puppy. It's a black lab, and we roughhouse, and I play with the dog. It was all playful, loving bites. Like, you know how puppies do.
Yes, yes, and they have those sharp little teeth.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So these are some of the worst rated tourist sites across the globe. You might want to take a peek at this list before planning your next vacation. Stasher, a reusable storage container company, ranked the global tourist attractions using Google reviews, quality of accommodations, distance from the closest international airport, tourist safety, and of course, the ever-popular TikTok popularity. Because that's really what matters at the end of the day,
exactly.
isn't it? How
They
popular is
know.
this on TikTok? The Hollywood Walk of Fame was ranked the worst.
Really?
Yeah, the world-renowned attraction honors the stars of the entertainment industry, past and present.
Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either. But
Well-
they make it look really exciting when they're, putting a star in or putting their, yeah.
Well, I'm not going to go now. A reusable storage container company told me not to.
Yeah.
Next one is the Grand Bazaar in Istanbul, Turkey, which is one of the world's oldest shopping malls. The visitors are left unimpressed with the attraction, which ranks second worst. Well, if I'm ever in Istanbul, I'm going to go anyway because I
Yeah,
like a good open
exactly.
market. Is it one of those? I wonder if it's one of those big open air markets like
I
you
don't
see,
know.
like you see in Indiana Jones or something.
Yeah, could be.
Probably not quite the same. And the last one here is the Taj Mahal in India. It comes in at number 3, followed by the Busch Gardens in Florida.
Wow.
Now, I've been to the Busch Gardens, and they were actually pretty cool. So I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Well, they have gardens up in Vancouver, Canada, and those are absolutely beautiful. I've been there a couple times. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
And-
you have to be a garden person, maybe, and maybe that storage company is not a garden person.
Maybe. And there's the Legoland in Orlando, and it took over an old, really popular theme park. I thought that was Busch Gardens, but maybe it was a
Oh.
different. It was a former garden, and they left part of it behind, and you
Oh.
walk around back behind Legoland, and they've restored this piece of this old park. It is absolutely
Cool.
amazing. The banyan trees.
Uh-huh.
The banyan trees, the branches kind of grow out and then down into the ground like fingers.
Oh yeah.
Unbelievably. It's just amazing. Beautiful.
Ah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
UPS says it will hire 100,000 seasonal workers for the holiday rush. And some of the applicants can secure a job in less than 20 minutes without an interview.
Wow. That doesn't seem right to me.
No. It sounds like we might have some accidents, drivers, we might have things walking off our porches.
Well, I guess it depends
Oh, I don't know.
I'm sure they wouldn't just let someone come in and drive the truck and start delivering packages. Maybe it's in their sorting facility.
Oh,
or,
yeah, that would make more sense. Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I've seen, every year the drivers always have a ride-along helper.
That's true.
So
That's true.
they would be under constant supervision in that situation.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you straightened that out. Now I
Yeah.
don't feel so bad.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Because I know everything about UPS, right?
I hope so.
You know our UPS guy here, right? Good.
I-
I think everybody knows
Yeah.
him. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say his name, but yeah, we have some pretty great delivery drivers.
Yeah,
They've been
we
the
do.
same. A couple of them been the same guys for a long time.
Yeah. Well, Janet, what did she do? She lost her phone. I think it was on the top of her car or something. And the UPS man found it on the way to her place out. He stopped for something else, and there was a phone on the road, and he delivered it to her.
Oh,
It was the funniest thing.
we once I was outside talking with my neighbor, and I had my dog with me, kind of running around the yard, and I turned around, dog's gone. No idea where the dog went. Spent a day and a half looking for this dog. Put
Oh,
posters up
no.
everywhere. We get a call, and this was in Anchorage from across town, which was miles and miles away.
Uh-huh.
From the post office, saying, "Hey, there's this dog here at the post office," and and this was a 30-minute drive from my house. We saw your poster. Is this your dog? And they sent a picture, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's my dog. He had just gotten a bath and he didn't have his collar on."
Oh.
And so we went down there, and apparently we had been outside talking with the neighbor, and the mail guy drove by and stopped and delivered a package, and our dog just jumped right up in his truck like he'd done it 1,000 times, curled up in his little box of letters, and went to sleep.
Oh no.
and just drove with him for the rest of his route and stayed in that box and drove back to the place and then spent the night with him at his family's house overnight, and we got him back the next day.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Those poor kids. He was very sweet. He was a little miniature schnauzer. The mailman's kids were really devastated that they didn't get to keep him.
Oh.
So the oldest fish in captivity is Methuselah, which is a lungfish at the Steinhardt Aquarium in San Francisco. It's been confirmed that he is the oldest fish held in captivity. She arrived in the U.S. in 1938, and is the only living fish out of the 231 that came from a steamboat on Australia at the time, from Australia. Methuselah was originally believed to be 84 years old, but recent tests show that she is between 92 and 101 years old.
I wonder how big a lungfish is.
Wow.
Yeah. It's amazing.
I think they're about average for a lungfish.
Oh, sure. Okay, sounds good. An enormous castle from the medieval or Renaissance era has been discovered in Lazio, Italy, surprising historians who were previously unaware of its existence. The castle was buried between several hundred years worth of vegetation and was uncovered using satellite imaging. The site was found to be roughly the same scale as Tuscany's Cerzanello Fort. Only a tower had appeared on maps, but researchers visited the location to prove a long-held hypothesis that a military castle also existed there. Okay, so It says several hundred years worth of vegetation. Well, the United States has been around for a long time, and we have not covered up Chihuahua or Spokane or anything else. How does this happen where vegetation covers something like a castle? I just don't get it.
Right? Like somewhere like the first 100 years, probably, I guess, when people probably knew it was there, and then they just didn't do anything about it. And
but think 100 years ago in the early 1900s, our landscape hasn't changed much. Of course, we have people running back and forth on things and cleaning it up, but it just, I always wonder how that happens. Do volcanoes cover them?
Maybe it was like out in the middle of nowhere, and people just kind of drifted away from it, and generations went past. I guess I don't know.
Somebody who's smarter than me has to figure that out.
So I'm just going to go ahead and skip to the last one here.
Okay.
And it says, man turns photos of car stuck in beach sand into a calendar.
Oh, this sounds fun.
Yeah, it does. A New Jersey man has created a calendar that pays tribute to drivers who get their vehicles stuck in the sand at a local beach. Andrew Grossman regularly takes photos of these vehicles and posts them up to Riptide Bait and Tackle's Facebook page. The photos quickly gained attention, prompting the idea to turn them into calendars. The first calendar was printed for 2021, and Grossman already has enough photos for the 2024 calendar.
Wow.
Vehicles with four-wheel drive are permitted on the beach with a special permit, but many visitors ignore the warning signs and end up getting stuck. That is kind of funny.
Yeah, it is.
It kind of makes me want one of those calendars, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We'll tell you what. We are going to go ahead and go into some trivia. Sharon, don't cheat.
Oh, okay.
Okay, stay right there. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Okay. So, first question. According to a survey, 70% of dog owners do this every year.
Get a rabies shot for their dog?
No. It's a fun thing.
Oh, take their dog on vacation with them?
Ooh, no, but I like where you're going with that. It's not that.
Oh.
But it's a thing that happens every year on the same day.
Have a birthday
party.
Have a birthday
party for their dogs.
Oh, how fun!
We our dog's birthday was in our two youngest was in June, and we have 4 dogs, so we just went ahead and celebrated them all on the same day. We had doggy cake and doggy ice cream that was specially made for dogs.
Oh, nice!
And they got presents, and yeah. We also do Christmas presents for the dogs.
Oh.
And they get their own stockings and their own
Oh,
presents.
you are good dog parents.
We went secondhand. So occasionally it's fun to go out with the family and go to the secondhand stores, and we do. We'll occasionally take a day and we'll just go thrifting. And see what we can find. And every time we do that, last time on Monday we came home with a carload of dog toys. If you're out and about and you find the toys, you got to make sure they don't have button eyes and they're they're good and sturdy. And Man, we let the dogs outside when we got home, and then came in and put this pile of toys in the living room floor, and they immediately just came in and jumped in them like a ball pit. So,
Oh,
yeah, they love
fun.
it. They
Are your
love
dogs
it.
big dogs or little dogs?
Too big, too little.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good
Yeah.
mix.
Yeah, 2 golden doodles and 2, one is 13 and one is 12, the 2 little ones. And they're still feisty as ever.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, 10% of Americans claim they give out what at Halloween?
Big candy bars?
Yes! Good job. Wow, right off the bat. And I don't even have my sound effects plugged in, Sharon. But that was really impressive.
Well, you said 10%, so I was thinking how many people, when you go trick-or-treating, actually have big candy bars.
Right, not very many.
Yeah.
And my kids this year have convinced us to do the full-size candy bars.
Ah.
So we're gonna
Okay, does everybody want his address?
No. You'll know when you get there. I'm sure word will get around.
Yes.
But no, every year we like to do a pretty big display, and we're going to be traveling this year. And
Yeah.
the kids, we got someone staying at the house with the kids, and they're going to surprise. They're going to be decorating our house while we're gone. So this year it's going to be, we have they're both teenagers and they're upper teens.
Yeah.
And this is going to be their year to do all the Halloween decorating. So
How fun.
I'm
How
excited
fun.
to see what they come up with.
Hopefully they'll send you lots of pictures.
Well, I know so far we've gotten, those bags of the spider webs.
Uh-huh.
About 5 of those massive bags of spider webs, and about 500 or 600 little tiny spiders.
Oh, nice.
And a few big ones, and a great big black light. So it's gonna be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, the next one here: answer wrong and win.
Okay.
These ones are harder than you think.
They are hard.
They are hard. In what city is the TV show Chicago Fire set?
Los Angeles.
There you go. Name the holiday where kids go door to door asking for candy.
Easter.
There you go. I guess some do on Easter though, right? I guess they ask for eggs. I don't know. Name the part of your home where you park your car indoors.
Oh, that's the pool room.
Cool. Ooh, yeah, I like a good carpool.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's a TV show that uses the sound effect. Da-dong.
I don't know.
Dong-dong.
Morning cartoons?
There you go. Do they still do morning cartoons?
I don't think so.
I wish they did.
I think they just have cartoon channels.
That
They
was the-
do them all the time.
That was the best thing in the world, waking up on Saturday morning before the parents got up.
Absolutely.
Parents
Yeah.
sleep in. You get to pour yourself a bowl of cereal, watch the cartoons.
Yep.
Kids nowadays don't get that experience.
Yeah.
So,
But they have experiences we didn't have.
exactly. Well, that about takes us out of the fun and games. We got a few minutes. Let's go ahead and do some local events, Sharon.
All right.
I don't know if we got about 10 minutes. I don't know if we'll be able to get through them all, but
Okay.
I know there's a lot going on.
If we don't talk about your local event, maybe you're not a member.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been told that that if you're a business and you're having events, you need to be a member of the
A
radio
sponsor,
guild.
yeah.
A sponsor.
So if we're reading through the calendar, just company policy, rules, and everything. If you're not a sponsor, unfortunately, we don't read your event. I wish we could.
Yeah.
There's a couple of sponsor people that we've recently reached out to us. Hopefully we'll get a couple new sponsors on board coming up soon. Yale Press is our newest sponsor.
Nice.
So we get to talk freely. Well, there's sometimes if it's a city event, if it's a public event happening, and it just happens to be at a business, we can go ahead and discuss that.
Yeah.
But if it's a private individual thing, FCC rules, that sort of thing, talking about a private event or private company doing a for-profit event in their business, there's some rules that we need to go around. So
Yeah.
it's confusing. Public radio, right?
Yeah. So we'll go into some of the nonprofits and some of the local things. And
Yeah.
of course, today, I wonder if they're having pickleball.
They are.
They are?
Well,
Even in the rain?
It's on the those pickleball players. They're a hardy bunch.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if they carry an umbrella with them.
And I
in
think
one hand.
I'm not sure if it's a formal event sort of thing or if it's just there's the pickleball courts. Have at it.
Oh, yeah. I think I read that it said you could come whether you had a partner or not, and they'd get one for you on
Okay.
the regular.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do think they've ignored my request for a mini fridge full of pickles to live in the pickleball court. One of these
That's
days.
so funny. Okay, and tonight is in downtown Chihuahua, as far as we know. SETI's and the firefighters, they're having a recognition potluck dinner for them. This should be a fun event. We've reached out to see if there's an alternate site. We haven't heard. Have we heard?
We haven't heard back yet.
Okay.
We reached out to the city hall to see if there is an alternative location in case it's raining, which there's a good chance it might be raining.
Yeah.
But we haven't heard back yet. So if anybody knows, go ahead and comment on our Facebook feed.
That would be good.
Yeah. Let us know if you've heard anything about an alternate location. We will be hopefully getting that in by the daily announcements that air at 12:30 and 5:30.
Oh, good.
So,
good.
yeah.
Good. Yeah, it's at 5:30 this evening. The meat is furnished. Plates, silverware, napkins, those kind of things are furnished, and there'll be tables and chairs, and just bring a potluck dish. And somebody said, well, do we have a signed potluck? And we said, no, if everybody brings spaghetti, we call it a spaghetti feed.
Right.
And if everybody brings pie, it's a pie social.
I know with COVID and everything, and just, there's been a bunch of stuff on YouTube going around about, there's been an anti sort of potluck thing happening the last few years. And to them, I say, boo to you, because I love a good potluck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's sometimes, eat at your own risk, because you never know where those people made that food. But you know what? Sometimes it's worth the risk.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Tomorrow, Downtown Strategies, the monthly mingle at 5:30 to 7 at Andy's. Do you have any information on that?
I do actually. But before then, there's actually another thing happening today. That's from the Downtown Revitalization Project. It is a monthly co-working session at Yale Press.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and that is
Good.
happening from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. today. That's for remote workers, freelancers. You can get together and you can go work quietly by yourself, or you can get together, brainstorm ideas, have some working sessions with some other folks over there.
And have you been to those?
I have been to a couple. My wife actually is organizing them for the city. She's doing they're pretty good. So happy to have them back at the Yale Press. We did it for 1 month here at the radio station while the Yale Press was cleaning up and getting ready to reopen. And still going back to the firefighter, thank you. It still blows my mind they managed to save that coffee shop, and I'm so grateful every day.
Yeah.
That it's still there. I get off the morning show and I usually run over there and grab myself a cup of coffee and something to eat.
Yeah, well, we were really blessed we didn't have the wind that Medical Lake had.
Yes.
Because we could have lost all of downtown.
Oh yeah, and that's the wind was certainly lucky, and wind or not, the firefighters.
Oh yeah.
The job they did was just.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's seen the pictures, everybody's seen the videos.
Right.
The flames were intense.
Yep. And it wasn't just Chihuahua. We had surrounding fire districts that came and helped too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a group effort, and the work they literally saved Chihuahua. That could have so easily caught, if it would have caught one more building. I mean, everything was so hot, it was so dry, that could have gotten really bad really quick.
Well, yeah, the plants and the trees almost a block away were destroyed. Some of them, across the street, down the road a ways. Yeah, it was a hot building.
So thank you to all of our firefighters.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Also tomorrow, the Jenkins High volleyball team will be traveling to Colfax.
Oh, cool.
If you're a volleyball player. And tomorrow starts at the Bing Crosby Theater, Rising Tide. Melanie Huff will be one of the 5 featured people at that. You have to get tickets. It is on Facebook. It is. You can also go to the Bing Crosby Theater and to get your tickets and get more information. And that's both Thursday and Friday. And how exciting that we've got a star in Chihuahua. We've got lots of stars in Chihuahua.
I know. It's not technically a local event, but it is a local artist that you're supporting by going to the event.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I think, and I've been to Melanie's dance performances before, and they're really good. They're really entertaining.
She's very good. Yeah. And Friday, what do we have Friday?
Is it free pickleball?
It is pickleball again, and the farmers market. And do you know what we're doing this Friday at the farmers market? Are we doing something special?
I don't know if there is anything special going on this weekend. I know the pumpkin bowling is coming up next month.
Okay, I'd heard that in the wind somewhere about the pumpkin bowling, and I didn't know how quickly that was happening.
Yeah, I believe it's
Yeah.
happening not this Friday, but the next Friday.
At the beginning of the season, they gave out kind of little refrigerator, magnets about the farmer's market, and I
Right.
got one on my refrigerator, and when I go by, sometimes I read it, but it doesn't stay in my brain. It kind of falls out.
You know, the same thing. I know. I'm not sure if there's another market after this. Maybe Brad's listening and can comment on Facebook.
I thought that it was like October. Is the 13th a Friday? Somehow that sticks in my brain that it's going for a couple more weeks.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. And then Friday night also is football at Asotin for those football fans. And Saturday, cross country at Airway Heights for Jenkins High School. The kids are busy. You know, we have kids at stage time that are also in cross country or in volleyball or in other sports, the spring sports. They're just amazing, and they still get good grades and they graduate well. You know, they're just amazing kids we have in Chihuahua.
There are, we generally the kids that you meet around here have pretty good attitudes. You know,
Yeah.
there's some great kids around here.
Yeah, yeah. And Saturday we've got a slew of things.
Ooh,
Cross country at Airway Heights, volleyball home against Riverside. There is a special taco bar and dessert auction for a woman named Tracy. I'll murder this name. Fabila, Fabila.
that sounds about right.
Okay. And it says that she's been a local hairdresser in Chihuahua for 25 years. She is, she spent the last 2.5 months in and out of hospitals and rehab facilities fighting an infection, working its way from her neck to her knee.
Wow.
Yeah. And she's looking at another couple of months of rehab before the possibility of returning to work. And they're doing a special out at the Addie Grange, a taco bar and dessert auction. $15 for adults, $10 for kids, or ages 6 to 12, free for under 5. And let me see, September 30th, 2 p.m. It's a middle of the day activity.
Okay.
So, anyway, I know that when the community gathered and did things for Gino, it was just such an outpouring of love from this community. So I saw that in the newspaper, and I just wanted to include that because,
Yes.
you know, we need to love people whether we know them or not. And I don't get my hair done. Oh, I guess you could tell that.
No.
But I mean, I don't go to a professional, so yeah. Anyway, that. And then also that day, the Woodlands Theater is having their Roaring Waters presentation. And let's get to that. Okay, that's honoring the cultural legacy of Kettle Falls. 6 o'clock on Saturday. They'll have fishing sites and geographic features, special guest commentary. It's a benefit for the Inchelium Cultural Research Center and the Kettle Falls Historical Center. They have a suggested donation of $10 to $40. So it sounds really interesting. And the picture, of course, shows the old Kettle Falls before they were covered up when they backed up the dam. And so that's an interesting thing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Sunday, the Lions Club has their annual bike tour. Monday, of course, we have pickleball, and the high school has volleyball again. Tuesday, we have cross country. Tuesday, story time at the library, and volleyball on Tuesday. And next Wednesday, we have pickleball.
And Sharon, what? No, we don't have Sharon back on the radio next Wednesday because I will be
you're gonna
traveling.
Be out of town.
Yeah, we're going to be probably unless we can get Scott back. I'm not sure what his schedule looks like, but maybe we can get Scott back on the air to pick up the show next week while I'm gone.
You're going to let me know.
Yeah.
And it starts. The Center for the Arts are starting their sit and knit program. If you want to knit, or want to learn, want to sit with people and visit with people who knit, 2 to 4 on Wednesdays and 6 to 8 on Mondays, starting next Wednesday. And also next Wednesday is Park Avenue Players auditions.
Yes, auditions for the radio play. It's going to be done right here at KCHW.
Yep. And so Wednesday and Thursday of next week are the auditions, 6 p.m. at the center. And like I said, if you come in and you think you're in the wrong place because there's 53 kids there, you're in the right place.
Outstanding. Are they going to be doing something else while we're there? Because they're working on Finding Nemo Jr., correct?
They're Finding Nemo Jr. and they're Wednesday. Tuesday they would have rehearsal, so it could be a small group. Wednesday they'll have class, so it could be a large group.
Very cool.
But they'll have the auditions in the class, what I call the classroom. So
okay.
They're off. Yeah.
And I did reach out to Janet briefly and talked about I want to get the kids on the air to do some promos for their Finding Nemo Jr. I want to get them to maybe record a little announcement and a promo.
They love that kind of stuff. Yeah, and we've got some really talented kids in the group.
Absolutely.
And some really beginners, and so it's a real good mix. Yeah.
Outstanding. Yeah, we're gonna get together and we're gonna bring you some fun stuff, even if it's just some promos playing throughout the day.
Yeah, and that's what I have coming up this week.
All right. Well, we gotta go ahead and take a minute to stretch our legs, play the news, thank our sponsors, and we will be right back after this short break. We'll see you in a bit.
It's 8:19.
Your KCHW morning show is made possible by donations from Chihuahua Flooring.
Chihuahua Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chihuahua Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at ChihuahuaFlooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at chihuahuaflooring@gmail.com.
Chihuahua Motel and RV Park. Chihuahua Motel and RV Park, located at 301 South Park Street in Chihuahua, offers 14 single or double rooms, each with a refrigerator and microwave, in-room coffee station, Wi-Fi, cable, and 58-inch screen television. 2 Airbnb options are available, both with full kitchens, coffee, and a 65-inch smart TV. They also feature 26 full hookup RV spots with 30-amp service. For reservations, they can be reached at 509-935-4763 or ChihuahuaMotelAndRVPark.com. Chihuahua Motel and RV Park, 301 South Park Street in Chihuahua.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chihuahua. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
This is KCHW, Chihuahua, 102.7 FM.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast, September the 27th, 2023. I'm Mike Clifford. Progressive groups are speaking out against the idea of a constitutional convention, warning it could be used to impose conservative policies on things including civil rights, guns, voting rights, and abortion.
Right-wing groups such as the Federalist Society say they want to require a balanced budget and limit the power to tax. moves critics say would lead to huge cuts in Medicare, Social Security, education, Medicaid, and environmental protection. Duke University professor Nancy McLean notes that Article 5 of the Constitution requires consent from just 2/3 of states to call for a convention.
The organizers of the convention effort have made clear the votes taken would not be based on population, but on one vote per state, so as to grossly underrepresent the majority of Americans.
I'm Suzanne Potter.
Golden State lawmakers just called for one on gun control. Conservative groups argue that the request could be aggregated to reach the 34-state threshold and force a convention. And a judge ruled Tuesday that Donald Trump committed fraud for years while building a real estate empire that catapulted him to fame and even the White House. That from the Associated Press. They report the judge, ruling in a civil lawsuit brought by New York Attorney General Letitia James, found the former president and his company deceived banks, insurers, and others by massively overvaluing their assets and exaggerating the net worth on paperwork used in making deals and securing loans. Trump's lawyers say they intend to appeal, calling it a miscarriage of justice. Meantime, a new report sheds light on the effects of local air quality policies on disadvantaged communities. Our Daniel Smith has more.
Researchers studied two sets of policies. Both would meet the state's 2019 Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act air quality goals. But Alan Kupnick with the group Resources for the Future says they looked at which policies would do more to protect and benefit marginalized communities. He says the ones supported by the environmental and climate justice advocates stood out.
We were able to look at the effect of fine particulate concentrations. This is the pollutant that is most closely tied to mortality impacts. We found that disadvantaged communities were getting better protection, more improvements than other communities.
The Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act goal is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions in New York by 40% by 2030 and no less than 85% by 2050.
This is Public News Service. An estimated 135,000 older folks in Arizona owe, on average, more than $44,000 in student loan debt. More on that now from Alex Gonzalez.
Policy analyst with the Education Opportunity and Mobility Initiative at New America, Tia Caldwell, says most older federal student loan borrowers hold debt from their own education and are subsequently aging with their loans.
What we're finding is that the reason they're paying for so long is just that multiple systems have failed these borrowers. They're more likely to go to a for-profit and low-quality school, so the higher education system wasn't serving them well. And then once they entered repayment, they were unlikely to get the help they needed as low-income people.
Caldwell says many of these borrowers, who are disproportionately people of color and women, end up defaulting on their loans and experience wage, tax refund, or even Social Security garnishments as a result. I'm Alex Gonzalez reporting.
The current Farm Bill expires September 30th, and with a looming government shutdown, reauthorization does not appear imminent.
The Farm Bill, which is updated every 5 years, covers a range of agriculture policies like crop insurance and funds government food assistance. Michelle Ramirez-White with the Wisconsin Farmers Union says December and January are the more concerning deadlines if action doesn't materialize. In the meantime, she says they'll keep fighting for market fairness within agriculture.
We just see these issues of competition needing to be addressed in a more holistic and composite way.
As for timeline, she warns dairy prices would see an upheaval if a new bill isn't approved by the end of this year. Ag experts say this would be a major blow to consumers and exports. The Farm Bill has generally enjoyed bipartisan support, but some GOP House members are pushing hard for spending cuts, complicating spending talks, including for agriculture. I'm Mike Moen.
And finally, our Mark Moran lets us know 3 conservation groups have sued to stop a large logging project near Yellowstone National Park.
The South Plateau Project would clear-cut 5,500 acres of trees, burn more than 16,000 acres, and carve 56 miles of logging roads into the Custer-Gallatin National Forest near Yellowstone Park, close to the Continental Divide. Working with the Center for Biological Diversity to file the suit, Mike Garrity with the Helena-based Alliance for the Wild Rockies says the logging project would be genetically devastating for grizzlies near Yellowstone because it proposes to slice through a corridor that allows Yellowstone grizzlies to mix with bears further north.
Grizzlies once again need one connected population so they have healthy genetic interchange.
This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service, member and listener supported. Here are some radio stations, big and small, your favorite podcast platform. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
Welcome back to the KCHW Morning Show for Part 2. We're back with Chuck Ritchie, not Scott. Sorry, everybody, for that the first time. and Sharon Ludwig.
And do we know where Scott is? If he's listening, call or text us, tell us, chat, tell us where you are.
We don't know where he is. I know yesterday he was spotted somewhere in Wisconsin driving a car. Apparently it's the information we have. No, I know. That's what his sister Val said. But yeah, I think he left his little red beanie, his little red striped beanie hat here. So we have no idea of where he is or how to find him.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, he left his striped hat and his cane.
We need a GPS on that man.
We do. That would have been a fun thing to do the follow the Scott, but I don't know if he wanted everyone to know exactly where he is at any given moment. Yeah. I can't blame him for that. So we have a couple of things that have been added during the break. The pumpkin bowling is October 13th at the Friday Market, and that is the last market day of the year.
Oh.
So if you haven't gotten out to the market yet this year, you only have a few chances left. It's going to be this week, next week, and then the 13th is going to be the last day of the market in 2023. The year's ending. It's getting chilly out there. I wore my coat to work today, and I was still cold.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd use the heater.
Yeah.
Man, we need to get the house heater fired up. We haven't even done that yet. I woke up this morning and it was like 60 degrees in my house.
Ooh, that's too cold.
It is too cold. I was freezing. Anyway, so there are a couple things you said you wanted to add on too.
I just wanted to let people know that there are a couple activities you might want to think about buying tickets for coming up October 14th. And it's unfortunate they're all three at the same time, so you might have to divide and conquer. Mm-hmm. Half your family go one place and half another place.
Oh.
Vital Movement Dance, Illuminated Dance Gala at the Aaron Huff Cultural Center is being put on that night. Tickets are available. The Center for the Arts is having a Stompers concert, and they'll be that'll be on that night.
Now I've seen this, but tell me a little bit about that. What is the Stomper? Is it like the cloggers?
Okay, like clogger. Yes. They're dancers. And last Saturday, somebody who is a tap dancer came in and practiced on our stage while we were there working. She had some music going, and it was so fun to listen to that tap. Of course, I like tap dancing. That's one of my favorites. So yeah. And then also that evening is the Hands Across the Nation's dinner and auction, and that's always a good cause to support. And if you can't go to it, like I've not been able to go to it, but I always send them a donation because I think that they're doing a wonderful work.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I would like to go ahead and clarify a little more too about this monthly mingle that's tomorrow night.
Oh, good.
That's going to be at Andy's Sandwich and Sports. It's a group effort actually through the City of Chewelah Downtown Strategies Economic Vitality Pillar, which is one of the organizations that are all working together, the newly formed groups to sort of revitalize downtown Chewelah and get some life going. Well, we have a very lively downtown, but to try to get us that next step to really become have a thriving downtown and get some of those buildings filled up. As you can see, there's been a lot of construction going on some of these buildings, and some of these buildings that have been empty for a while and recently sold are they're really getting spruced up in a hurry. There's a couple of folks out there that are really doing a great job of renovating and restoring some of these old buildings downtown.
Well, on a little side note, there's some bricks being put in a building. They're doing brick columns, and above the two columns is like a arch.
Yes.
And the bricklayer went and talked to SETI's and got some granite from them, and he took it home and cut it. And so if you look at the arch and there's the gray granite in there, it's in remembrance, and it's of SETI's.
Wow.
Isn't that neat?
That is neat.
Yeah. And
okay.
I was so amazed because I said, oh, that's the same arches on the SETI's building. And then I talked to somebody who was in the know, and they said, yeah, he'd gotten permission and gotten. So don't go take a brick. Don't go take anything.
No.
But, he got permission and then recut it to fit.
And it's really looking gorgeous over there. I saw they got the arch with the address in it.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really, God, man, those guys are doing a good job.
Yeah, they are.
But yeah, and that monthly mingle is also, that's in cooperation with the city of Chewelah, the Chewelah Chamber of Commerce, and the Chewelah Creative District are all combining efforts to make this monthly mingle happen. It is a networking and brainstorming session. The whole point is to sit around and come up with ideas, talk about things Chewelah needs, and hopefully get some groups together to start planning these things and figuring out ways to...
Is it just for businesses?
No, everybody's welcome. If you live in Chewelah and you have ideas.
Or you live around Chewelah.
Or you live around Chewelah, or you just listen to the radio somewhere else and you want to drive a few hours to get here just to see what's happening, we would love to have you here. So that is going to be open to everybody. And it's just going to be a mingle and brainstorming session. I'm not sure, but I believe we may have a large chalkboard there.
Oh.
Or a whiteboard with the somebody oughta board is what I believe it might be called.
Yeah.
Where when somebody sits around and says, somebody oughta, write it on the board.
That's a good idea.
And then you can get other people interested in that idea and get some names and get a group together and maybe start working on that idea.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a nonprofit. You don't have to be a business. You can just be a concerned citizen and work on a project.
It sounds like a good place to be.
Yeah. It'll be fun. Hopefully we'll come up with some great ideas from there. So obviously for things like festivals and we talk a lot about Chautauqua and how a lot of people are missing it. Then this is exactly the kind of thing that ideas like that come from.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's really important to keep those lines of communication open and really start talking together. And we do have a pretty good track record in this town of people working together and communicating. And this will just build into that and help it feed into that and grow.
Yeah, and a lot of people want to volunteer. They just don't know where they can. Chautauqua was a great thing, but when you look at what's going on in this community since it's not been, we're just exploding with fun and with just all kinds of things are happening. I just think it's an exciting time to be in Chewelah.
It is. And to add to that, speaking of Chautauqua and doing things on the stage there, the Chewelah Creative District just submitted a grant. And get this, we are in the Chewelah Creative District in partnership with the city, the theater, the radio station, TED, the Chamber of Commerce, as well as support letters of support from almost every other organization in town and some from individuals, people on the city council. We submitted a grant last week to put in a sound system in the stage in the park.
How nice!
Yeah. And it's going to be a good sound system, and it's going to be in cooperation. The Creative District is going to be supplying the funding for it through grant funding. Cross your fingers if we get this grant. And then we'll be working in partnership between the radio station and the theater to have organizations contact us to then go and train them how to use the system, how to set it up. It's going to be, we're not going to have any Guns N' Roses concerts here or anything with it, but it'll be a pretty good sound system.
Nice.
There's a lot of thought and effort that went into it, and we've got Jay and a couple other individuals from around town that are going to be working on sort of taking what we kind of came up with as some rudimentary sort of shopping list and fine-tuning that and getting some of that stuff set up, and really cross my fingers because I think that could really be a huge really huge asset to the town to have a good, proper sound system on that stage. So one of the biggest problems at that stage is it costs a lot of money to rent a decent sound system to set something up there, and I think that prevents a lot of people from using the stage.
In my memory, it seems like it was $4,000 or $5,000 to rent the sound system for Chautauqua for the weekend.
Right.
And the people that worked with it and stuff. It was a lot of money.
Yeah. And I mean, those details will still be worked out as far as whether we even charge, whether city charges for that. I'm not sure how that's going to work yet. Those will be details worked out later on, but it certainly won't be that much money. It'll be affordable. Yeah. It'll be accessible.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll see some more life out of that stage. It's a beautiful setup there.
Yeah.
And it kind of breaks my heart to see it used so seldomly.
Yeah.
And I think a lack of a good sound system there is one of the reasons why.
Yeah.
Either it costs too much, or for less money it just doesn't sound great.
Right.
And you end up with a little personal PA system that you kind of set up there that just doesn't really get the sound well.
Right.
Or this is going to be designed in a way to not flood all of Chewelah with the music that's at the theater, and hopefully we'll fine tune that enough to get that sound directed where it needs to be, and not just blanket the entire city with music that not everybody wants to hear. Yeah. There probably will be some of that, but
Yeah. Well, it just fits into my vision of Chewelah, which is that we have things going on all the time,
right?
And that we have more than one venue for all the arts, for theater. I would love to have to a point where we had a couple theaters going. We have the cultural center, we have the Center for the Arts, we have downtown, we have the radio station.
Yep.
We already have 4 venues that can be productions, and recitals and concerts and things like that. It's really the start of something really big.
And you know what? We're all going to be working together on this stuff.
Absolutely.
There's no competition.
Absolutely.
There's no don't go to this theater because we're doing we all are in this together.
Yep.
I mean, 100% working side by side. You and I have talked about this a lot.
Yep. And just that weekend that I was talking about in October shows that we're already getting there, where we're having more than one cultural type thing happen at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's exciting.
Exactly, and I forgot about the Friday market. The Friday market is involved in the project too. And imagine all the cool things every Friday during the summer that can be going on that stage.
Oh yeah.
During the market.
Yeah.
I think I'm really excited. I'm geeking out about the whole thing. We did a bunch of looking into sound systems.
Oh, fun.
But we did get a message, an email from one of the grant administrators from the state. It's the State of Washington Tourism Grant. Who messaged back and said, "Wow, that is a really strong application."
Ooh, that's nice.
So things are looking good.
Yep.
No guarantees, but I'm really hoping by next spring, we'll be able to have a ribbon cutting ceremony.
How fun!
And have a little gathering, an event in the park to celebrate our new sound system going in there. Yeah, so I'm excited. Sorry, I'm geeking out about this.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and move on to the local birthday calendar. This is the Chewelah Valley Lions Club calendar. They just the deadline is you've passed the deadline if you didn't get your name in for next year. So sorry about that. But here are today's birthdays. It is Jamie Graybeal Brook, Haley Noland, and Mandy Forsberg with birthdays, and then Roland and Janet Goulet, I hope I pronounced that correct, have an anniversary today.
Yeah.
Happy birthday and anniversary to everybody. Scott would like to say, if you see him around town, point and laugh, but don't do that. That's rude.
But just give them a hug and tell them how much you enjoyed hearing their name on the radio.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. Then on our celebrity birthday, Sharon, why don't you go ahead and take us away to our celebrity birthdays?
Oh, yeah. Well, we're...
right up at the top.
Okay.
We got this, everybody.
Yeah.
We're getting there. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, because
okay.
I'm not going anywhere here.
There's...
Oh, yeah, here it is.
Okay.
Date book. I'm looking for the word birthday. I've got it right here. I got to put my glasses back on, though. Okay. A. Martinez from L.A. Law, Santa Barbara is 75. Sean Cassidy is 65. Do you remember Sean Cassidy?
Wasn't he from the Partridge Family, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yep. Comedian Mark Marone from Glow is 60. Gwyneth Paltrow is 50. Anna Camp from Pitch Perfect and the Mindy Project and True Blood is 41. Rapper Lil Wayne is 41.
That's your favorite rapper, right, Sharon?
Oh, yeah.
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 Big. You were telling me earlier you're a big Lil Wayne fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Avril Lavigne is 39. YouTuber and actress Grace Helbig is 38. Sam Lerner from the Goldbergs is 32. Jenna Ortega from Wednesday, Scream, Jane the Virgin is 20. And Ames McNamara? McNamara, yeah, probably the Connors, is 15.
Okay. And then it happened today in 1950, the answering machine was invented.
Whoa.
Ooh. Do you still have an answering machine?
I do.
We have one right here in the station. The phone number actually gets forwarded to my personal cell phone.
Oh.
So it doesn't pick up a lot. But there for a while when I first started, before I got my phone forwarded, it was it was an interesting experience. I don't think I've used an answering machine since the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
And
we have one.
it was kind of fun to come in and see a message on there. And you push the button. It was like, oh, hey, this brings back memories. 1964, the Warren Commission released its report concluding that Lee Harvey Oswald, acting alone, was responsible for the assassination of President Kennedy.
Yeah, were sad days.
And to this day, it's not a lot of people are convinced that's the truth.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get into that right here.
Yeah.
1998, Google was founded. Mm-hmm. 2003, a Brazilian prisoner who tried to escape from Sao Paulo prison while dressed as a woman was caught because he couldn't walk in high heels. Guards said the man looked like a beautiful woman but waddled like a duck.
That is so funny. He shouldn't have had high heels on.
Put on a nice pair of sensible flats or something, you know?
Exactly.
Man. 2004, NBC announced that Conan O'Brien would take over for Jay Leno at The Tonight Show in 2009. Well, that never happened. That's interesting. I didn't know that they even announced he was going to take over for The Tonight Show, but he never did take over The Tonight Show.
Huh.
2015, a supermoon coincided with a lunar eclipse, creating a blood moon over much of the Earth. Okay. That sounds cool. 2021, Netflix said the Shonda Rhimes series, Bridgerton, was its most watched series ever. Are you a big Bridgerton fan?
No.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either. 2022, Forbes released its annual list of the richest Americans, and for the first time since the Great Recession, the super rich did not get richer this year. As a group, the Forbes 400 were $500 billion poorer than they were the year before.
Oh,
poor billionaires.
Yeah.
We should hold a fundraiser. We'll do a bake sale.
Yeah.
For the billionaires. All right, tell us about today's special events, Sharon.
Oh, it is the morning show host day.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
they have
that
a
would
day
be us.
for us.
Yay. Happy morning show host day, everybody.
Thank you.
A morning show.
Ancestor Appreciation Day, and you
Mm-hmm.
should appreciate them because if it weren't for your ancestors, you wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
Yeah. Chocolate Milk Day,
Mm-hmm.
Corned Beef Hash Day, Crush a Can Day.
I can't believe that morning show host day is right up there with Crush a Can Day.
Yeah.
We're kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
National Day of Forgiveness. That's a really good thing to do.
It is. Every day should be National Day of Forgiveness.
That's right. Gay Men's HIV/AIDS Awareness Day, Voter Registration Day, World Tourism Day, World School Milk Day. Well, isn't that unusual? Chocolate Milk Day and World School Milk Day on the same day.
What a coinky-dink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Women's Health and Fitness Day.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Our number for the day, $4 billion. Those are the dollars spent on phone repairs in the U.S. each year.
Wow.
$4 billion on phone repairs.
Yeah. I had to have my cell phone repaired a month ago maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I took it in, and then the next day the screen wasn't working at all. So I took it back, and the phone is 3 or 4 years old.
Right.
But he fixed it, and I said, "How much do I owe you?" And he said, "Oh, no, it was under warranty." So I don't know what they did the first day, but
oh wow,
but they covered it, and I was really pleased with that.
Cool.
That they took care of it. Yeah.
Because in phone years, that's like 80.
dog years, but phone years. Okay.
I've always been a big fan of staying a few years behind the time and just getting whichever phone was free at the time.
Oh yeah.
Because those are usually the obsolete ones that are going out. And I had my last one they just stopped working because the cell phone company was like, "How did you even have this phone? We haven't supported this phone in years."
Oh yeah.
And,
back when I had a flip phone and I dropped it somewhere and got it wet, and I went in to get a new flip phone, they said, "We don't have these anymore, but we can order one if you want." Nah, so I had to upgrade to a smartphone.
But they still honored their deal and let me upgrade. I went ahead and finally got like a current modern phone.
Oh.
And I was excited. I was and they let me do the trade-in offer.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Almost free for my old ancient brick of a phone with a shattered screen that I'd been carrying for years. Yeah. Very exciting stuff. All right, so go ahead and let's move on into the news attack. This is where the first part.
This one's a cute one.
Yeah,
Police in Spain.
Okay, go ahead.
What?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Police in Spain caught a teenage con artist who was tricking people into sending him money for new phones and instead mailing them bricks. It took quite a while to catch the kid because so many people who got the bricks just thought they were suffering from the usual bad reception.
New study, a survey finds that 65% of Americans want to do away with the Electoral College. That's the highest percentage of agreement we've had since Costco announced free samples were coming back.
Oh, also in that 65%, the Electoral College voted, and they're staying.
Oh, man. Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sharon. Take the next one.
Okay. Americans will witness another debate among Republican candidates tonight. Oh, good. I was running low on material on my conspiracy theory bingo card.
Bingo.
Bingo.
Got it. I have a ding here somewhere for that, but I don't know where it is on my button. I haven't been using the buttons today.
You're not as fast as Scott is on that.
Scott is really good about that, and I just, I've got this thing, and it's only half in English, and it's I can never remember where everything is. So there's that. Anyway, okay, where were we? A study found that chocolate may help regulate your heartbeat. So pipe down. I'm not eating a tub of chocolate ice cream. I'm being proactive about my heart health.
Yes, very good. Americans will witness another debate among Republican candidates tonight. Finally, a break from watching paint dry and grass grow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sometimes that grass is pretty exciting, though.
Yeah. It's kind of like watching corn grow. And it's amazing how fast corn grows. Yeah.
Did you know there are actually some, again, I'm being a nerd here, there are some species of bamboo that grow so fast, if you actually sit there and watch it long enough, you can actually see it growing.
I have heard that.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's one of those renewable sources that you can use for building materials. And in a lot of parts of the world they do, and they grow so fast that they're not going to run out like other places with forests.
It's like a month from planting to harvest.
Yeah.
And you just keep it going. So yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of that in our future. So the UPS says it'll hire 100,000 seasonal workers for the holiday rush.
Funny, we talked about that.
Yeah, but there's no joke. It just says they're going to hire 100,000 seasonal workers for the holiday rush.
I don't know what happened to the joke. Yeah.
They forgot the joke. They were just so excited about the seasonal workers.
Yeah, President Biden's dog commander, bit another U.S. Secret Service agent, the 11th known biting incident involving the 2-year-old German Shepherd. In related news, the White House announced today that first dog commander has been renamed Jaws. Now, you should have a, whatever that little thing is. Yeah.
Right? I should. I do have an awkward button, but apparently the buttons didn't work. I just tried to play it and it didn't do anything because I have the wrong slider up. That's okay. Doesn't matter. Sorry. So let's go ahead and we got a few minutes left in the show. Let's close things out with the wacky but true. This is where these stories are 100% true. I will try to do my best to come up with a stupid, annoying sound effect if I can, but I don't have the fun movie sound effects. I'm going to get those going though.
Okay.
Well, Scott will be back next week, so
good.
Hopefully the show won't suck quite so bad.
Okay. So is it your turn? Mine.
Oh no, go ahead.
It's yours.
Okay.
I did the commander.
A DoorDash driver in Massachusetts crashed into a body of water while on a Dunkin' Donuts delivery run because their GPS gave them bad directions. The driver called authorities after splashing down in a large pool of water on Friday. Responding officers found the driver with the Duncan order still in hand. The driver claimed they were following their GPS instructions when they ended up on a dirt road and somehow ended up hitting the water. The car was partially submerged when police found it. The driver was taken to a nearby hospital for medical attention and will be charged with negligent operation of a motor vehicle. And there's an additional topic of discussion here. Have you ever had GPS take you on the wrong path?
Oh, yeah. When I was heading to my son's house in Utah, and we got off the freeway, and we got so far, and it said, "You are here." And we looked around, and we're in this, business zone. We are not here. We're not at my son's house. But my daughter was with me, and she goes, "Oh, but I know how to get to his house from here." And it was a couple miles away.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have a bad habit of, if I get off the wrong path, sometimes when I drive, I just kind of zone out. I'll listen to music or just kind of blank out in general. I mean, I pay attention to the road, but I'm just paying attention to the road and not much else. And I've gone quite much further off the path than you should be before you realize you're off the path.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was once in the middle of nowhere in Tennessee, and I got GPS took me the wrong direction, and then I lost signal.
Oh, no.
I didn't realize I had lost the signal, and I just kept following this road until it told me the next turn. And I knew it was something like 20 miles, stay on this road, and then when you get in the moment, we just kind of zone out and you're driving, you don't really realize when 20 minutes has passed. And next thing I knew is I'm getting messages, "Where are you?" And it was like 45 minutes later, and I was in the wrong town.
Oh, my.
I had gone through the middle of nowhere, and even, I look around, I'm like, none of this looks familiar. I'm not even in the right city.
Yeah.
And then you end up having to turn around, and still didn't have signal. And it was that one time I was lost for about 2 or 3 hours before I managed to figure out where I was. And you probably
didn't have a paper map on you.
Did not. No. No, did not. Thank you, Google.
Okay, a woman claims a concussion after a block of cheese flies into her head. A TikTok user named Meredith Hayden, and they even tell her at Wishbone Kitchen, shared a video claiming that she received a concussion after a waiter accidentally dropped a block of cheese, which hit her in the head while dining at the Cheesecake Factory. Oh, it says there's a video.
Wow. Well, we're not going to watch that, but if you search "woman knocked unconscious by a block of cheese in the Cheesecake Factory," I bet you that'll come up.
Probably.
Oh, wait, I clicked on it and it started playing the video, so we're going to go ahead and get that off of there. Next one here is an airline in India had to remove an allegedly intoxicated passenger after he tried to enter the plane's cockpit because he wanted to charge his phone.
Well, shame on him.
Right?
Yeah. In Germany, police were called when the neighbors heard an elderly couple arguing. The 90-year-old woman of the house confessed to police that she hit her 90-year-old husband's wheelchair to stop him from meddling with the housework. She should have given him a chore and just said, "Okay, the kitchen's yours.
Right?
Take care of it." Or the bathroom or wherever she wanted him to have. Yeah.
Well, the bathroom would have been nice because she could have just closed the door.
Yeah.
Locked him in there. Okay, in Holland, a man went to the bathroom at a gas station. He had his keys and his wallet attached to a chain that was hooked to the belt of his pants. When he pulled them down to sit on the toilet, another man in the stall reached under the partition, pulled the keys and wallet loose, and ran out with them. The victim pulled up his pants and tried to chase the thief, but by the time it got outside, the suspect has stolen his car and zoomed away.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just mean.
It is. It's
Catch
awful.
a guy with his pants down.
Yeah.
Man.
In Poland, a guy stole a car not far from where police were working on another case. So, of course, a chance began?
A chance?
Should it be a chase?
Yeah, I think it should be a chase.
Okay. A few miles down the road, the car thief dumped the car and ran into a large grassy field. Police arrived at the empty car a minute later and knew their man couldn't be far. Shortly after they began searching the field for the car thief, they heard a sneeze.
That would get me, especially if it was a wheat field.
Oh, yeah?
Or the Timothy hay especially. Oof. Ooh, I can't take it. Gives me a rash. An Indiana woman, Sharon C. Key, has been arrested after allegedly stabbing her 1-year-old niece in the neck over a Burger King sandwich. Sharon Key, who believed her dog had stolen her fast food meal, attempted to stab the dog, but instead stabbed the child.
What was she doing with a knife stabbing anybody?
Yeah,
Shame on her.
Even I mean, it's a Burger King chicken sandwich. You're gonna cause harm to even that's a horrible story. We probably shouldn't have read that.
We shouldn't have read that.
No, we shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, everybody. Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap up the show. We only got a few minutes left. We'd like to remind everyone once again about the auditions for the KCHW radio play. Those are, tell us again those dates and times, Sharon.
A week from today and a week from tomorrow. Is it October 3rd and 4th?
October 3rd and 4th.
Okay. And tonight is the city potluck to honor the firefighters and SETIs. And as far as we know, it's in the street in front of SETIs. Now, if we find out there's an alternate place, Chuck will put it on the radio. He'll have it in the afternoon. You know, if it's raining, could possibly be an alternate place.
Yeah. Then you can stay tuned right here tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. for Music from the Mountain, Music for the Mountain. Then from 8 to 10, Dirt Road Blues with our very own Dirt Road Doug McQuain. We all know Doug and love him. Then from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. is our Science Radio. We have Planetary Radio, Sea Change Radio, Echo Shock, and Total, which comes from SETI.org, which is the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence.
Ooh.
It's always a fun show. They give us current updates on their search for life outside of Earth.
And are you up that late?
I have been lately. I haven't been good about getting much sleep at night. I was up till about 2 a.m. last night.
Wow.
Just you know, I was so proud of myself. I got up and started getting ready for bed at like 11:30, and next thing I know, boom, 2 o'clock. Yeah, that happens. Anyway, everyone would like to thank you so much for joining us. You can tune in right here tomorrow morning. We will not have the Three Amigo Thursday going on, but I do have a very lovely woman who will be sitting in place for Scott and Alan tomorrow morning. It's going to be myself and the very lovely KS Brooks joining us on the morning tomorrow.
That will be a good one.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And KS has some pretty cool stuff coming up. She's got a film premiering at the the Magic Lantern Theater this week.
Oh, nice.
This weekend on the 30th in Spokane. At the beginning, it's at the beginning of another film premiere.
She's a really talented lady.
She is. And I always say I have never met anyone in my life that works as hard as KS does.
Oh, yeah.
She is the hardest working person. I think she goes about 18 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Wow.
And she just goes and goes and goes and goes.
Yeah.
And she's a phenomenal human being. Does great work. And the video is actually I'm in it too. I play a jerk parking in a handicap spot.
Oh, well,
I
is a jerk.
I shouldn't give away any spoilers, but
oh, yeah.
But I did a little story. We showed up. We were going to do this video, and she found this person with this really neat car at this car show, and said, "Oh, I'm making a video. I'd really love to use your car." And he said, "Sure." And she gave him the time and the place, and had no idea if he was going to show up. And he showed up on time at the place, and she's like, "Okay, well, what do we do?" And the dude from across on the other side of the car throws me the keys and says, "Have at it." At the top of my head, I don't remember what kind of car it was. You'll have to check out the video to see. Blue.
Okay.
I believe it may have been an old Chevy Nova, or a no. It was a Chevy. It was a Malibu. That's what it was. It was an old Malibu. Absolutely gorgeous. Had a really hard time keeping the pavement on the road, or keeping the tires on the pavement. I think it was really fun. Really fun experience. Anyway, that about does us for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you later. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.